Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my New Year's banner review. I'm only going to review the characters on this banner, therefore I won't be covering Hanabusa or Ibisu in this video. I haven't really played around or looked into those two characters all that much, so I'll save those two for a different video, alright? We're going to start things off with Nobunaga. She's probably the most popular character on the banner, and I'm assuming most of you guys are eager to hear what I think about her. So, her skill 1, it's 3300 SP, it's basically the same cost as Reina's skill 1, and the damage is more or less depending on which phase Reina's skill is in. It has no damage infliction on it, and the total damage mod is around 1034%. It's not too bad, however the way you use this skill is kind of wonky. The first 475% hit is dealt immediately, while the rest of the damage, being 559%, is delayed. When Nobu hits a foe with her skill 1, it applies a buff called Burning Ambition. That buff will end after 30 seconds, and when it ends, the foe will take 559% in flame damage. It says that Burning Ambition does not stack, therefore you shouldn't use Nobu skill 1 again until Burning Ambition ends, or else you are losing out on 559% damage mods. However, keep in mind that Burning Ambition is considered as a buff, so that does mean you can cancel the buff immediately before the timer by dispelling it. Characters like Yuden and Navi just recently received dispelling effects in their kits due to their Mana Spiral update, so those are two characters to use alongside Nobunaga in co-op. If those characters aren't present on the team, then Nobunaga can dispel it herself in two different ways. The first method is by using her skill 2. Flash of Unity costs 7500 SP and deals 904% flame damage and dispels one buff. The cost is a bit much for what it's worth, but it's not the worst thing ever. After she applies Burning Ambition on a foe, she can use her skill 2 to dispel Burning Ambition and proc it immediately. It sounds easy, right? But there's more to it than just that. The issue here is that you cannot just rely on skill 2 to dispel Burning Ambition, considering the fact that her skill 1 costs less than half of her skill 2. She has to rely on her abilities as well. That ability is called World's Dream. It grants Nobu's 4 strikes the ability to dispel buffs when her combo count is 15 or higher. Being able to maintain a 15 combo count on her is going to be extremely important because of this ability. If you cannot maintain a combo count of 15 on her, then you won't be able to dispel every single Burning Ambition on time. Not only that, but she also has Flurry Strength, which requires her to maintain a combo count of 15 higher as well. By the way, apparently the permanent defense buff that Master's High Midgard gets every so often in the fight, that buff can be dispelled, right? If High Midgard has Burning Ambition and that defense buff active, when you go to dispel one of his buffs, dispelling Burning Ambition does take priority over the permanent defense buff that he has. I'm assuming Burning Ambition takes priority over any enemy buff. That would make a lot of sense. Overall, Nobunaga is by no means a terrible character. She's only bad in the sense that she requires really good play or near perfect rotations in order to output the same amount of damage that a Reina would output. Another con is that Nobunaga doesn't inflict burn with any of her abilities, and burn is very important in the current meta, especially in Expert Agido, so she's missing out on that too. Although not having burn is not always a bad thing, there is such a thing as too much burn, so Nobunaga can still definitely find herself on a team with a couple burner allies. I would say that Nobu is a high effort character with not enough reward in terms of damage output, but she does have her own unique niche of having multiple ways to dispelling buffs, and that could serve some usefulness for more feature content. If you are a Blade enthusiast, then Nobunaga is definitely for you. I think the high effort needed in order to play as her will leave Blade mains satisfied whenever they can clear endgame content as her. Which, by the way, she is able to clear Expert Agido in sub 4 minutes and level 55 Windman Crow Gauntlet with no issues, so she definitely isn't as bad as people think, but Reina is still the better character in most areas. Next up is Mitsuki. She's now considered as the best light dagger dethroning Flare. Her skill 1 costs a very low 2641 SP. It deals 12 hits of 61% damage, which is about 732%, and inflicts paralysis. The animation is relatively quick, so that's pretty good. The biggest takeaway from this skill is that it has low SP cost and it deals 12 hits. This means that she can easily build up her combo count, and the low SP allows for more uptime on her paralysis procs, which is important for any character that has Punisher abilities. Her skill 2 costs 5280 SP, pretty low for a skill 2 as well. It deals 1 hit of 945% and it increases the user's attack rate by 10% for 10 seconds. In addition, it deals additional damage based on her combo count, and the scaling is given as follows. When the combo count is at 30, then her maximum damage mod on her skill 2 is 1417% instead, which is quite a lot. The synergy in her kit is just so appeasing. Skill 1 is half the cost of skill 2, so she should be able to get 2 skill 1s off before skill 2, and that's free 24 hits. Then if you add the normal attacks in between those skills, then she can easily get a combo count of 30 hits for maximum bonus damage on skill 2. Don't forget that skill 2 gives her an attack rate buff, and that allows her to combo faster and get her skills up quicker as well. She has a really nice set of skills, it's very simple to use, and it so happens to output tons of damage as well. As for her abilities, she has Flurry Strength, just like Nobunaga. It's obviously way easier to activate Flurry Strength on daggers because of how fast they attack. It only takes a few seconds for them to get a combo count of 15 or higher. And then lastly, Paralyzed Punisher is obviously another great damage ability, especially in the high Zodiac meta. Mitsuki is a very strong light character. She's definitely top tier in DPS among lights. The damage between her and Fleur isn't night and day, but Mitsuki for sure outputs more damage. If you are looking for a strong meta character to use in all difficulties of high Zodiac, then Mitsuki is definitely who you are looking for. Now, the last character of the banner is Chouteau, the 4-star light wand. He is basically light Noel. He provides 25% strength to the entire team with his skill 1. With a buff time print equipped, he can easily maintain 50% strength for him and his teammates, which is of course great. There's nothing else to really say about this skill. Skill 2 grants an AoE shield that nullifies damage less than 30% of Chouteau's max HP. I don't really think this shield is that useful as of right now. In Zodiac, the shield only blocks mini dashes and chasers. He should probably skip out on using his skill 2 and just focus on spamming skill 1. And I honestly don't even know if you can get enough HP to block the purple claps in Mikuro Gauntlet, so it seems like a dead skill to me. He has some pretty weird abilities. Love Shield grants him a shield just like his skill 2, except that it's 20% of the user's max HP instead of 30. Again, I don't think it's that useful. Defensive Stance lowers his HP by 10% but increases his defense by 20%. This is pretty decent. Chouteau isn't really there to deal DPS, instead he's there to be a buff bot by spamming skill 1 and increasing everybody else's damage. With that said, the 10% lower strength doesn't really affect him too much. On the other hand, the increased 20% defense is nice to have to help him get past High Zodiac's initial blast. Ranged characters usually have a tough time getting past opening blast, so that increased defense definitely makes it a lot easier, especially if you don't want to run the high dragon print. Overall, Chouteau is pretty good as expected, no surprise there. Anyone with a skill 1 AoE buff always has a place in this game. Half his kit I would say is pretty bad, but the only thing that matters is that skill 1 AoE strength buff. You are able to use him in High Zodiac. He can replace Yachio's slot in the 2 Gala comp and in the Melora Gala comp. He works in both. I prefer to use him in the Melora comp just because that way Chouteau doesn't have to go out and bait the second spit in the beginning. You can leave that job up to Fleur, Mitsuki, or Melora. Make sure you pick him up since he's only 4 stars, plus he's really good in Mikuro Gauntlet, so if you're having a tough time getting through that, Chouteau definitely helps. Last but not least is Dagger. His aura increases strength by 55% and 25% more if combo count is 15 or higher. It's a flurry aura, and that means it's preferred to only use this dragon on certain weapons that can easily stack combos such as dagger, wands, and bows. You can probably still use them on swords and blades as well, but they have alternatives that I think are already good enough. Any character that can use Daigo should definitely use him. Daigo has the best dragon form among all light dragons. It's even better than Phoenix, but just very so slightly. He's so strong mainly because of his skill. His skill not only deals 700% damage, but it lays a buff zone on the ground that increases attack speed by 20%. As for his attack animation, it's very similar to Cupid's. He shoots out 3 hits for his combo 1, 4 hits in combo 2, and 5 hits in combo 3. If we compare the damage multiplier between his and Cupid's, you can see that Daigo blows Cupid out of the ballpark. He may not be a skill damage dragon that we've been looking for, but Daigo ended up being a pretty good dragon regardless. I definitely recommend trying to get at least 1 copy of him if you can, because he will be best in slot for many light characters in this game. And that's my New Year's banner review. I would say that this is a pretty good banner to summon from if you enjoy using any of these characters' weapon types. I for one don't even like playing blades, and after seeing Nobunaga skill animations, it made me want to summon for her and use her. I'm a really big sucker for cool animations, so regardless whether or not the character is good, I'll use them as long as they have cool animations. Unfortunately for me, she was the only character that I didn't get after spending free pulls and tickets, so that kinda sucks. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.